for a fee of around £45 million. Johnson's departure puts even more focus on Taiwo Awoniyi, who has found the net in 7 successive, enabled Forest to turn the corner on their travels, both away trips having so far yielded no reward. Johnson's departure means a recall for Orel Mangala, in the only change from the team which lost at Old Trafford last week, Joe Worrell having served his one-match ban for his red card in the Carabao Cup in midweek. So let's give you those two sides. Chelsea line up with Robert Sanchez in goal, a back three of Axel Disasi, Thiago Silva and Levi Colwill, a midfield four of Malo Gusto, Conor Gallagher, Moses Caicedo and Ben Chilwell, with Raheem Sterling and Enzo Fernandez behind Nicholas Jackson up front. As for Forest, they have Matt Turner in goal, a back three of Willy Bolly, Joe Worrell and Scott McKenna, a midfield four of Serge Aurier, Orel Mangala, Danilo and Ola Aina, with Ryan Yates and Morgan Gibbs-White behind the recently prolific Taiwo Awoniyi up front. Our referee today is Tim Robinson from West Sussex, who was appointed to the select group of Premier League referees at the start of the season. Anthony Taylor, World Cup referee, is our fourth official on the touchline, and at Stockley Park we have Gerard Gillet in the VAR hub. So Nottingham Forest, can they get something somewhere on the road? Their away record last season in the Premier League was dismal. It was their home form that kept them up. And Steve Cooper, having signed all those players, has got another mass of players to try and keep happy as Forest face another season of trying to achieve Premier League safety. As for Pochettino, his sights will be higher than that. And as I say, last week it was Raheem Sterling who was his golden boy, with a couple of goals and an assist against the Hatters. Pochettino and Cooper embrace before kick-off, with the crowd almost certainly expecting a Chelsea win and not prepared to put up with anything less. The pre-match photographs with the mascots are taking place before Joe Worrell and Ben Chilwell will exchange handshakes and toss the coin before the start of the match. It looks as though the two sides are going to swap ends after that coin toss. They are indeed. So a whole gaggle of players pass each other in the centre circle. Joe Worrell, sent off at Old Trafford last week. As I say, served his ban in the Carabao Cup tie in midweek. So back to lead his side in the post-Brennan Johnson era. How will they get on without such a promising young player? Looks as if Chelsea are going to kick off. Enzo Fernandez and Nicholas Jackson are over the ball. Chelsea kicking from left to right in this first half. And so we await the referee's whistle and we're underway. Fernandez sprays a ball out to the left immediately, which Chilwell looks to take down on his chest, but before he can get onto it, it's screened out of play. And that'll be an early goal kick to Nottingham Forest, who obviously have gone down to defeat in their 2 away games so far. Most recently at Old Trafford last week, when they were beaten by the odd goal in 5. Here is Danilo for Forest, but he's hustled off it by Malo Gusto. Gets the ball back to a teammate. That was Thiago Silva who hoisted it up towards the halfway line. Chelsea can now break through the centre of the pitch with Caicedo. Gets it to the left-hand side to Jackson, steps inside his man, steps inside 2, but runs into a wall of players Fernandez tried to get a shot off as well. It's come out to the left hand side to Chilwell, puts it across the box. That's a brilliant challenge. Sterling was closing in, looking to poke the ball in the net, and Ola Aina came across, and I think he's put it out for a corner. Looked for the whole world as if Sterling was going to turn the ball in there, but Aina got the challenge in. It will be a Chelsea corner, the first of the game, inside the first 90 seconds. Chilwell to take it on the Chelsea left, swings it in, it's headed away to the edge of the box, put back in again by Chelsea. That's going to be too long. Matt Turner claims that comfortably and runs to the edge of his box before holding on to the ball and then bowling it out in front of him. It's back inside the Forest penalty area with Joe Worrell. Pokes it forward, gets it back again, still inside his 18-yard box, plays it to his right, and it's now laid forward to Oral Mangala. He pushes the ball further forward. Colwell is penalised, and Forest will have a free kick just over midway through their half. Come back into the right back position, and all the way back to Matt Turner, who miskicks horribly. That's not a great start for Matt Turner. He sliced that off his right foot and out for a Chelsea throw midway inside the Forest half. They don't make the most of it though, and Forest have the ball back and they lay it forward. Morgan Gibbs-White goes to the ball up the right hand side, but Chelsea just put it out for a throw. Tied up there by Disasi. So Forest with the throw, 10 yards inside the Chelsea half. They leave it, or one leaves it for another. It's thrown in by Willy Bolly, goes up the line. Forest win another throw, 15 yards from the Chelsea corner flag on the right. Forest would love to come home with something from Stamford Bridge. As I say, their away form last year was woeful. They've lost the first two this season, albeit with reasonably promising performances. Can they turn their fortunes around? They're going to throw this ball in from the right hand side. It's thrown into the Chelsea area, and it's claimed comfortably by Sanchez. Took it off the head of everybody else, bowls it out, and Chelsea sprint over the halfway line, but it was poor control by Chilwell, which meant it came back into Forest possession, and that's a better clearance by Turner up towards the halfway line. Chelsea keep the ball in play on that far side. Looked like a late challenge, but I think the referee's played on because Chelsea have the ball. Here is Disasi. Disasi to Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher once more. On the halfway line now. Advances into the Forest half. Gets the ball to Gusto. But his ball back to Conor Gallagher doesn't work, and Forest can now try and break clear with Gibbs-White to Owani. Owani back to Scott McKenna, and now to Willy Bolly to the right of the centre circle. Worrell, it's laid forward, flicked on, but to nobody in particular, and Chelsea get a chance to play the ball into the Forest half. Here's Raheem Sterling running at the defence, lays it inside looking for Jackson, but that's well read by Willy Bolly, and Forest turn out of trouble. Chelsea player's gone down holding his face. That's Enzo Fernandez. Referee doesn't seem particularly interested, and play goes on. Well, he was sort of handed off, I think, by Yates. I don't think there was a great deal in that. I think there was some theatricals from the Chelsea man. Here's Axel Disasi to Gusto. He plays it further down the right-hand side to Sterling. Ball is seen into touch by McKenna. Gusto will take the throw, almost level with the 18-yard area on this near side, the Chelsea right. And it's played out again for another Chelsea throw, this time a shade further back. Gusto gives it to Conor Gallagher, who heads it forward. But the Chelsea men have played that a little bit too tight, and Forest can clear. O&E goes to take on DeSassi, but I think the whistle's gone. It has indeed gone. Not quite sure what the referee's given here. I think he's given a free kick to Forest for a foul on O&E. So an early chance perhaps for Forest to put a ball in the Chelsea box. Steve Cooper looks on, shading his eyes from the sun. Oh, what's a bright day in West London. Gibbs White to take the free kick, a yard inside his own half. About 15 yards in from the left touchline. Drifts it forward. Up go the heads. It's headed on. Can O&E get on the end of this? The header back was not a convincing one. And O&E was almost onto it. You don't want to give a forward in that form too much encouragement, but he couldn't reach that one. And here comes Caicedo to give it to Sterling, right edge of the box. Sterling comes inside, then tries to go outside, plays it back to Gusto. His ball across the box, hits the defender and loops up for Matt Turner to claim with no undue alarms. He advances to the edge of his area and just rolls it into the path of McKenna. McKenna exchanged passes, passed it back to his goalkeeper, who kicks it long up towards the halfway line. Thiago Silva gets a touch of the ball. Forest pick up the pieces though. By this stage last week at Old Trafford, Forest were 2-0 ahead, but went on to lose 3-2. Quieter start here. Chelsea 0, Forest 0 here on Flash Score and the Flash Score app. That's Aina. It's back to Gibbs White, who's playing fairly deep so far. Joe Worrell to Willie Bolly. Forward now to Mangala inside Chelsea territory. He plays it up the right hand side to just over midway inside the Chelsea half. And they lay it up the line towards Danilo. Danilo goes towards the byline, pulls the ball back. It's cleared by Thiago Silva. Forest win the initial header. Conor Gallagher heads on. Worrell heads back towards the Chelsea goal. DeSassi gets a header in, gets another header in. There's a lot of head tennis going on at the moment, bit scrappy. Gusto back to Conor Gallagher. Now to DeSassi. Gallagher's won himself a free kick because somebody came in too sternly. I think it was Ryan Yates. So Chelsea will have a relieving free kick. Yeah, he was just too late there, the Forest man. Nothing malicious, just didn't quite catch the right bus to make the challenge. Seems to be some discussion going on between Steve Cooper and Maurizio Pochettino and the referee, so I'm not sure what this is about, but his attention's been drawn over to the far side. The referee's listening into something, so we have a stoppage in play. A few Chelsea players on the bench also shading their eyes from the sun. Must be quite a difficult vantage point, you would think. Former Chelsea man Gary Cahill amongst those in the crowd today. Well, we've still got a pause going on. I'm not sure what this is about. There's a long conversation between the referee and the fourth official. A few Chelsea players going across to get some instruction. Steve Cooper pointing and gesticulating in conversation with Scott McKenna. Oh, it appears that the referee's means of communication with the VAR hub and his fellow officials has gone awry. Looks as if they're re-kitting him out. Maybe the batteries had stopped working or something, because he couldn't hear any instructions that he was getting. So that's why we've got a stoppage in play. Mystery solved for you. While he's getting re-kitted out, I can tell you that the Blues are unbeaten in their last 9 games against Nottingham Forest, including a run of Nottingham Forest's last win against the Blues, a 2-0 victory courtesy of goals from Stuart Pearce and the late Chris Bart-Williams, who sadly now to Axel Disassi. He gets it back again midway inside his half to the right of the centre circle, back to Sanchez, who just stops the ball. Forest don't seem keen to challenge for it, so he takes his time and fires it up the right hand side, headed back in field, and in fact he didn't get it back in field at all. It had already crossed the line, so it's out for a throw to Nottingham Forest, almost level with their own 18-yard line on their right hand side. The far Old Trafford throws the ball in. Moses Caicedo lays it forward from the throw. It's kicked out of play by Forest. I think that was Joe Worrell. The centre circle. He plays it out to Sterling on this right hand side, hugging the touchline. Back inside again. Sterling goes once more to get the return. Plays it through to Jackson, but he lets the ball roll under his foot and it goes through to Turner. There was just half a chance there if Jackson could have taken that in stride. Fires it up the right hand side, headed back in field, and in fact he didn't get it back in field at all. It had already crossed the line, so it's out for a throw to Nottingham Forest, almost level with their own 18-yard line on their right hand side. The far and now O&E tries to hold it up for Forest but loses his footing. To Levi Colwill. Here's Thiago Silva to the left of the centre circle, inside Forest territory. Axel Disassi. I think every Chelsea player this man back inside the centre circle to Disassi. Disassi forward. He's faced by Aurier. Plays it backwards instead to Levi Colwill. Here's Thiago Silva to the left of the centre circle, inside Forest territory. Axel Disassi. I think every Chelsea player tries to get the return, doesn't get it. Comes back to Conor Gallagher, who shoots from the edge. It's just almost level with the 18-yard area to the right of the box. Gets it back once more. Faced by Aina. Plays a little short ball into Fernandez. Tries to get the return. Doesn't get it. Comes back to Conor Gallagher. Circle. Inside Forest territory. Axel Disassi. I think every Chelsea player no great concern. Turner takes the goal kick, right-footed. Up. Chelsea 0, Forest 0. It's a good strike, but I think Matt Turner always knew it was going wide, and therefore left it with no great concern. To circle, inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player... Gallagher, now inside to Enzo Fernandez. He follows up, gets another touch. Here's Jack on Aina, who puts the ball out of play. Says it should be his throw, but the referee disagrees and gives the throw to Chelsea. Gusto throws it in. Back to Conor Gallagher. Now inside to Enzo Fernandez. Circle, inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player... have it back at least briefly, but they've given it away again. Here's Caicedo, falls back into his own half again, and now the ball laid forward by Chelsea, trying to come down the left hand side, but it's intercepted, and Forest have it back at least briefly, but they've given it away again. The circle, inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player... leg there, did Conor Gallagher. Gibbs White was happy enough to go over the top of it. I think just to the left of the D. Yeah, he just left a trailing leg there, did Conor Gallagher. The circle, inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player... all three centre-backs have gone forward. There's a little bit of push right of the penalty area, you would think. Willy Bolly and Joe Worrell are both up there, and so is McKenna. All three centre-backs have gone forward. The circle, inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player... and it's behind for a goal kick. So all that build up and comes to absolutely nothing at all. There you go, what can you do? Gibbs White floats the ball to the edge of the box. It's going to be too long for everyone to keep in, and it's behind for a goal kick. So all that build... circle, inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player... out of the centre circle to Disasi, advances towards halfway but then stands on the ball. Here is Disasi playing it to Thiago Silva, short of the centre circle to Disasi. The circle, inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player... Joe Worrell's in a good body position and clears. It's now headed away by but they don't cover the pitch very well because it enables Fernandez to saunter forward. Here's Sterling out on the right, puts the ball in the box, but Joe Worrell's in a good body position and clear. Circle, inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player... when this... I think he's just probably going to give Forest the ball back. The referee's given a free kick though. Have to wait and see when this... I think he's just... circle, inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player... I'll be quite pleased with this first 20 minutes, Forest. They've not really come under serious threat. Have to wait and see when this... I think he's just... circle, inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player... over. And Chelsea try and build down the left-hand side, but that's a poor ball. It's given Forest a... but Thiago Silva tidies up as he so often does. Gusto back to Sanchez, now to Thiago Silva. And Chelsea try and build the circle inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player to the box, and the youngster was running towards the near post, just in front of Jackson, who couldn't make a clean contact. That's 2 or 3 times now that Sterling has put a dangerous ball into the box. And the circle inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player plant it back into Forest territory, but out of play, so it will be a throw in. Their young centre forward not able to profit from it as yet. Turner plays the goal kick forward. Chelsea plant it back into Forest territory, but out of play. Circle inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player Bolly heads it back into Chelsea territory though. Throws it up the line. Owani is screened away from it. Bolly heads it back into Chelsea territory though. Circle inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player Sanchez messes about with it a bit, but gets it to Conor Gallagher. Owani is screened away from it. Bolly heads it back into Chelsea territory though. Circle inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player Fernandez in the centre circle. Out to Gusto. Gusto back now to Colwell, short of halfway. Plays it into Forest territory. But he's forced back again and has to go back to Thiago Silva. Fernandez in the centre circle. Circle inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player down to Gallagher. Gallagher harried by Bolly, gets the ball inside, but there's no problem with that. Says play on. So Chelsea play on because they have the ball. It's gone out to the left hand side now to Chilwell. Down to Gallagher. Gallagher. Circle inside Forest territory. Axel Disasi, I think every Chelsea player goes back to Turner, who launches it long. Owani. Owani's pulled over by Thiago Silva. Silva protests his innocence, but he might be booked here. Chelsea have it, midway inside the Forest half. Jackson tries to lay it back into the path of Fernandez, but that doesn't work. Goes back to Turner, who launches it long. Forced Thiago Silva into the indiscretion. I don't think Chelsea have it, midway inside the Forest half. Jackson tries to lay it back into the path of Fernandez, but that doesn't work. Goes back to Turner, who launches it long. 30 yards from goal. Just inside the right edge of the area as Forest are playing. So it'll probably think. Gibbs White, again the architect. The big men again forward. Can he get this delivery better than the last one, which wasn't great? On it is headed back in by Forest though. Will it break for them? They fired it over the bar. 2 of them went for the same ball. I think it was Yates and 30 yards from goal. Just inside the right edge of the area as Forest are playing. So it'll probably get it back infield at all. It had already crossed the line. So it's out for a throw to Nottingham Forest. Almost level with their own 8. Because that was a chance from a sort of scrambly, scrappy free kick. Free kick. And on a day when they might not get many, they might look back on that one. Well, that's a pretty awful pass from Desassi. It is retrieved. Gets it back again, just short of halfway. It's laid up the left touch line by Chelsea, but I think that's going to go out of play, isn't it? No, it isn't. Bolly has to play it. Plays it up the line, but Chelsea win the ball. Here's Jackson, 30 yards from goal, back to Conor Gallagher, who sweeps it to Gusto, who's 5 yards in from this near touchline. That's a good spin by Raheem Sterling, who then goes down. The referee says no foul, and that wasn't great, because that was a chance from a sort of scram. The ball wins it back for Chelsea, who have it on halfway with Chilwell, laid forward by the Blues. They come out to the right hand side to Raheem Sterling, 5 yards in from the near touchline, comes slightly infield, plays it to Gallagher. Gallagher back out to Gusto. Chelsea just knocking the ball around a little bit here. Coming up to 28 minutes gone at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Forest 0. Not a huge amount of goalmouth action as yet. A few interesting balls in from Chelsea. That miss just now for Awani, who volleyed over. Here's Thiago Silva just inside Forest territory, to the left of the D. He gets it back again in an almost identical position, plays it to Desassi in the centre circle. Desassi strides forward, plays it to Gusto out on this right touchline. Yard in, midway inside the half, goes back to Conor Gallagher. Gallagher back to the left of the centre circle to Silva. He lays it forward, looked a dangerous ball, but Forest cut it out before it could reach Raheem Sterling. Back to Silva again, this time he goes left to Jackson, who's come out onto the left hand side. Back to Silva again. A little bit of interchanging of positions by the Blues to try and move this Forest defence around. Enzo Fernandez, centre field, 35 yards from goal. Back to Thiago Silva in the centre circle again. There's Fernandez, out to Gusto, right hand side, faced by Aina, tries to take him on. Aina's strong though, gets his body between Gusto and the ball. Gusto pushes him over, and that's a free kick to Forest. That's a couple of times the Forest defenders have done well, getting their body between the Chelsea player and the ball and drawing the foul. Aina's pulled to his feet by his goalkeeping colleague Matt Turner, and he moves forward again as Turner prepares to take this free kick to the left of the 18-yard box, probably 15 yards from the byline. In his all yellow kit, Turner kicks it forward right-footed. Chelsea get the first header, and now they clear it up to a halfway line. Enzo Fernandez looking for Chilwell, who's well forward, but Chilwell loses the ball and pulls his man back, and that's going to be the first booking of the game. Well, that was really silly from Chilwell. He didn't control it very well. He lost the ball and he pulled the player back by the shirt. And for a man who's so important to Chelsea's fortunes, that was a cheap booking which he might regret later in the season if they stack up and he misses an important game. Not very clever from the Chelsea man. Free kick to Forest then. 5 yards in from the far touchline, about 7 or 8 yards inside the Chelsea half. Floated forward, headed on by Bolly. Will it break for Forest this time? A header from Chelsea, headed back in. Can Awani turn on it? He tries a bicycle kick, but it goes wide. He was never really in control of that. But again, he showed good strength to hold off the Chelsea man to actually get the bicycle kick in. Chelsea didn't do very well at clearing their lines there. That was another good tussle between Owani and Thiago Silva. The Chelsea man probably did just enough to leave Owani without enough angle to find the net. Disasi back to Robert Sanchez. Sanchez chips it forward to the left touchline. Chelsea come forward with Moses Caicedo. Sweeps it to the right hand side to Gusto. Gusto galloping down the right, puts it into the box. Away by Worrell, but for a Chelsea throw. 15 yards from the corner flag on this near side, the Chelsea right. Back to Conor Gallagher. Inside to Moses Caicedo, who's looked very elegant and polished so far. Thiago Silva on the halfway line for Chelsea. Plays it square for Disasi to the right of the centre circle. Gusto back to Disasi once more, and now to Thiago Silva. Chelsea haven't been terribly progressive so far in this game. It's going to take a while for Pochettino to put his stamp on this team, you feel, especially with so many new faces yet again. Chelsea spending money like there's no tomorrow. Tremendous revolving door of players in recent times. I guess Pochettino has to get in the ones that he wants. A club like Chelsea, you're defined by results, so you might as well have the team that you've picked to try and get those results for you. Chelsea have a throw short of halfway. It's going to be Colwill to take it on the far side. Takes it short. And Chelsea come backwards once more, all the way back to Sanchez in the goal. 69% possession for Chelsea, only 4 attempts on goal though. And Forest have probably had the best chance. So not a lot to show for their half so far, Chelsea. Can Gusto change that? He plays it forward to Sterling. Sterling gets it in from the right hand side. It's tipped away by Matt Turner. It's not gone out of play. It comes off a Chelsea player, I think. That'll be a throw to Forest, down by their right corner flag. Sterling played that one in early, on the run. He was looking for Jackson at the far post. Might have found him but for the intervention of Turner. Cole Palmer having his first warm-up on the sideline, having signed from Manchester City. You can only assume that the youngster thought he'd get more playing time with Chelsea than he would with Manchester City. I guess that remains to be seen. Here's Chelsea with Gusto, right edge of the box. Advances towards the byline, but is then forced backwards. Comes back to Conor Gallagher, who drifts the ball in towards the far touchline. It comes back to Enzo Fernandez, who's over the bar. Fired in his shot from the edge, always clearing the bar. A bit like an earlier effort that I think Turner knew was going too high and wide, and he knew that one was going over the top too. But at least it's another shot on target for the home side. Chelsea 0, Forest 0, 35 minutes in. Matt Turner clears right-footed. Headed on by Forest on that far side. Mangala looking for a way through, doesn't find it. Enzo Fernandez plays it to Jackson, who spins away from Worrell, does well. Centre of the field, 30 yards from goal, goes down. That will be a free kick. Brought down by Yates. He's waving an imaginary card at the referee. I don't think that's very bright, and he's been booked for doing so. I'm pretty sure it's Jackson that's gone in the book for that, for saying, referee, why isn't there a card for that challenge? And the referee said to him, if you want a card, son, you can have one. Well, The players know the rules. They know if you wave an imaginary card at a referee this season that you'll end up getting one yourself. So that's, well, it's stupidity from the youngster, really. Meanwhile, back at the game, in a world where players don't resort to gamesmanship, Chelsea have a free kick, probably 10 yards outside the area, just to the right of the D. Very dangerous position indeed. We've got Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell over the ball. I think it's going to be Chilwell. Is indeed Chilwell, hits the wall, comes back to Chilwell again, dinks one in towards the far side. It will be retrieved by Chelsea, by Colwill, but I think he's been given offside. So a very good opportunity came to nothing there for Chelsea. Bit of a wasted effort, that. Confirmation that Jackson was booked for waving an imaginary card at the referee. Well, I hope he learns his lesson from that, otherwise he's going to get a lot of those this year for that very offence, and so he should. Chelsea have headed the ball forward from the goal kick, and we're back in Forest territory. But Forest have swept up the ball. Worrell getting it back to Turner. Turner putting it onto his right foot. Not a great clearance though. Headed back towards the Forest penalty area. Worrell looks to sweep up again, and he's won the throw for Forest. Enzo Fernandez can't quite believe that's not his throw, but it isn't. Willy Bolly to take the throw for Forest. Throws it forward up the line, flicked on by a Forest head. It's come to Gibbs White, who's just crossed halfway, but Gallagher backtracks well and wins the ball. Now surges forward, plays it to Jackson. Here's a chance on the turn. Good block, really good block by Joe Worrell, who can now clear the ball up to the halfway line. That was a sight of goal for Jackson. Worrell did really well to get back goal side and make the block so that Turner didn't have to make the save. Serge Aurier, Ryan Yates. Here's Aurier again, over halfway. Chelsea tackle back, and that's gone all the way back to Robert Sanchez. That was Caicedo getting in the challenge. He limps away from that challenge a little bit, so hopefully there's no damage there. Here's Forest again with Gibbs White. That ball forward's gone astray though. We'll go all the way through to Robert Sanchez, who sets Chelsea going again with Disasi to Malo Gusto, inside to Gallagher, whose surging run created that chance for Jackson just now. Enzo Fernandez is pulled back by Ryan Yates, who's tossing up a few fouls. He just needs to be careful, the Forest man. I think the referee might have just said that to him. Here's Jackson, lays it back to Caicedo, out onto the left to Colwill. He puts the ball in the box, but it's a poor one, and it's out for a throw on this near side to Nottingham Forest. Raheem Sterling not very happy with the service he got there. Not been able to impose himself on this game as he did against Luton last week, Sterling. Not yet, anyway. Forest throw the ball up the line, flicked on by Gibbs White. Awani gets a head on it. Danilo latches onto the loose ball. Plays it back to Bolly. Bolly advances into the centre circle. Holds off a couple of challenges. Goes back to Aurier, who goes all the way back to Matt Turner. Matt Turner out to McKenna. 10 yards forward of the 18-yard box to Aina on halfway. His ball inside. Looks as if it might have hit the hand of Conor Gallagher, but the referee didn't agree, and now he's given a free kick to Sterling for the pull by Gibbs White. And that's another booking. Actually, it's a booking for Aina. Yeah, I guess he put his arm round his waist and pulled him back, so always seems to be a cheap yellow, that to me, but it's not in the rules of association football, so I guess that's fair enough. Here's Desassy on the halfway line. Out to Gusto. A yard in from the right touchline, midway inside the Forest half. They have to go all the way back to Desassy, and now to Thiago Silva in the centre circle. He gives it to Desassy again, to the right of that centre circle. Forward to Gusto. Gusto inside to Sterling, who tries to set Gusto going again, but Aina reads that well, gets it back to Turner, who hoists it up to the halfway line. Awani's penalised for turning his man. He's not happy about that. The Chelsea man stays on the floor, so the referee goes across to check him. Let's have a look at that in slow motion for you. While he's getting re-kitted out, I can tell you that the Blues are unbeaten in their last 9 games against Nottingham Forest. The Blues player. Here's Conor Gallagher. Oh, that pass has gone astray. Aina's picked it up. Gets it back rather fortunately off Gusto. Runs at Gallagher. And Gallagher's going to be booked now for standing in the way of Aina as he ran forward. Well, gosh, this referee's going to have a lot of writing to do. I guess that's a yellow card. It was, I think Gallagher knew what he was doing. But these yellow cards are totting up in this half. Mauricio Pochettino doesn't look particularly enamoured with the football he's watching here. He's used to his sides playing pretty football, and there's not been a lot that's pretty from Chelsea so far. Here's Gibbs White with the free kick, short of halfway. Fires it across towards the right edge of the penalty area. Bolly wins the header and wins it well. Headed away by Caicedo, but not far. Mangala tried to loft it back into the box, but I think that's going to run over the byline for a goal kick. He's protesting about something, but I'm not sure what. Maybe he's just expressing disgust at the quality of that pass, or the lack of it. Here's Desassy in his own 18-yard area, gives it back to Sanchez in his 6-yard box. Sanchez just rolls it forward to Gallagher, back to Sanchez again. Sanchez chips it out to the left-hand side. Not a great pass, but Chelsea managed to tidy it up. They loft it more up than out. Enzo Fernandez gets a chance to help it on towards Jackson, but he can't keep hold of the ball. He's not really got any change out of the Forest defence, apart from that one sight of goal where Worrell came back to block his shot. And he's had a frustrating half and got himself booked for stupidity, really. Here's Aina on halfway for Forest. Gallagher intercepted his ball across. Gusto plays it to Gallagher, who apart from his booking has played pretty well. Here's Sterling with some space on the right hand side. Will he come inside and try a shot? He tries to play it through a whole mess of bodies, and they smuggle it away for a corner. Worrell the man to put it behind. I think he was asking a lot of himself there, Sterling. I think he either had to put that in or come inside and get a shot off quick. He ended up trying to walk through about 3 Forest shirts, and that wasn't really ever going to happen. But at least he's won a corner for Chelsea, which will be swung in by Chilwell. Thiago Silva's up there, Desassy's up there. In it comes, headed away by Bolly. Good header too. Gusto can put it back in again. Instead he plays it to the left side of the box. And Chelsea's attempt to put the ball back in is intercepted. Good sliding challenge though by Gusto. Slows down the Forest progress, but Bolly puts it down the line for Danilo. Oh, that's good play again by Conor Gallagher, who wins the ball back. They're going to put the ball out of play because Danilo seems to have pulled up. He seems to have pulled up and he's gone down injured. And this might be pretty bad news for Forest, I think. There were some doubts about his fitness before the game started. And maybe whatever it was that was troubling him has caught up with him and he's broken down again. Does not look clever, this. He's still flat on his back at the moment. They've pulled him up to, well, almost a half-seated position. Looks as though it might be a hamstring. He seemed to be feeling around the area of the left hamstring. Well, he's pulled up short. He's really pulled up short. Something has gone. I will be very surprised if he can continue here. I think this is going to necessitate the first substitution of the game, because he was literally running after the ball and stopped and hobbled and then collapsed to the turf. Well, Steve Cooper's definitely got enough players to cover Danilo's absence. As I say, he signed 7 on the last day of the transfer window, and he had quite a lot to start with, so he's going to have a lot of guys turning up in suits for a little while, I think, who can't even get on the bench. But that might be a period of absence of some time for Danilo. Looked like a hamstring. Well, it's going to be the former Manchester United youngster and speedster Anthony Elanga who's going to come on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the left hamstring of Danilo that appears to have gone. So Elanga will come on. That certainly won't make Forest any slower. A little bit less nous, perhaps. But we're 2.5 minutes into 3 minutes of added time. There'll probably be a bit more now that Danilo's injury has happened. Here's Gusto. Inside to Sassi. Now to Gallagher. And now Thiago Silva, midway inside his own half, in the shadows of the stand at Stamford Bridge. Lifted forward by De Sassi. That's going to be too long and go all the way through to Matt Turner. Forward by Willy Bolly. Intercepted by Thiago Silva, who's looked as composed as ever. Oh, this is a chance down the left-hand side. Cross the box. It's just too far ahead of Sterling. He has retrieved it. Can he get it back in? Plays it back to Jackson, whose shot's blocked. Well, that was dangerous from Chilwell. Jackson still has it. Gets it to Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez switches it onto his right foot. Has a shot. That's easy for Turner. But the previous incident was more dangerous. Chilwell with the ball in. It was just too far ahead of Sterling, who retrieved it. Played it back to Jackson, and his shot was blocked. In the meanwhile, here's Anthony Elanga having a first run. But Chelsea have cut that short. Moses Caicedo in the centre circle. Is there a chance for one more incident in this half? We played 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the half. Here's Gusto. Gusto looking to take on Aina. Plays it back to Conor Gallagher. Inside to Enzo Fernandez. Now to Caicedo, who turns away from his man and is brought down. That was very clever play by Caicedo. Used his body strength to turn his man, go away to his left. Mangala brought him down. And Chelsea have a very, very dangerous position for a free kick with what could be the last incident of the half. It's 5 yards beyond the D, just to the left of centre. Maybe one for Fernandez, you would think. He looks like he's going to be the man on the ball. I think he fancies a go from here. Chilwell's in the vicinity, so is Thiago Silva. But I think it will be Fernandez who will eventually hit this. Matt Turner's lined his wall up. Can Chelsea snatch a lead at the end of a fairly indistinguished first half? Well, Thiago Silva's backed off a long way. I still think it will be Fernandez that hits it rather than Silva. Here's Fernandez, hits the top of the wall, goes over the top for a corner. Is there time to take it? No, I don't think there is. I think that's going to be half time. Yeah, there was no time for the corner. Well, a pretty indistinguished first half here at Stamford Bridge. Taiwo Awoniyi volleyed one over for Forest. Nicholas Jackson's had a couple of shots blocked for Chelsea. most notably by Joe Worrell. He's also got himself booked for waving an imaginary card in the direction of the referee after he himself was fouled. As I say, an undistinguished first half. To coin a phrase from the great Groucho Marx, I've had a wonderful evening, but this wasn't it. But we hope the second half will be better than the first. Join us shortly to find out. Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0 at the Bridge. Nottingham Forest on for this unofficial Premier League commentary on flashscore.co.uk and the Flash Score app. A pretty ordinary pretty sterile first half. A couple of decent crosses into the box from Chelsea. A shot blocked from Nicholas Jackson. Taiwo Awoniyi volleying over at the other end for Forest. Will be quite happy to be level at the break, you would think. It's been pretty ordinary fare in this first half. Really has. Can Chelsea produce something a little bit more in the second half? The home faithful will certainly hope they can. Forest will be pretty happy with the way things have gone thus far, you would think. Forest are going to get us underway in the second half. Now kicking from left to right. Ryan Yates is the man over the ball for the visitors. We're still waiting for referee Tim Robinson's whistle, and he's blown it, and we're underway. Flicked on by Forest from the goal kick, but from the kick-off. But it's out of play for a Chelsea throw on the far side. Gusto throws it in, but Chelsea lose it again. Here's Forest, centre field. Good robust challenge for Chelsea though. Wins the ball back. They lay the ball forward. It's headed away by Worrell. It's come to Serge Aurier on the near side here. He's retreating back towards his own goal. Manages to play it off Enzo Fernandez. Referee's whistle's gone. Fernandez has gone down. I'm not sure that... Has he been penalised for that, Aurier? I'm not even sure he made any contact at all. He seemed to put his foot down beside the foot of the Chelsea man. And yet Fernandez went over. Well, he was theatrical in the first half, Fernandez, so sometimes you can't tell whether he's been fouled or not. Here's Thiago Silva for Chelsea to De Sassi. Forward up the right-hand side to Sterling. Sterling goes for a return ball again, but it's too far in front of him. And McKenna clears. Chelsea pick it up once more, though. Here's Moses Caicedo to the edge of the box. Touch back by Nicholas Jackson to Enzo Fernandez. 25 yards from goal. Gives it to Gusto. Gusto to the right of the 18-yard area. Tries to play it back to Fernandez, but the pass goes astray. Here's Gibbs White counter-attacking for Forest. Comes over the halfway line. Gets attacking for Forest. Comes over the halfway line. Gets it to Owen out to the left-hand side. Now to Yates. Yates has a go from distance and nearly hits the corner flag, which is probably a fair representation of this game so far. It has to be said. That was a pretty dismal effort. Thiago Silva inside his own 18-yard box for Chelsea. Plays it forward to Enzo Fernandez. Now to De Sassi. De Sassi advances towards the halfway line to the right of the centre circle. Conor Gallagher, who was one of Chelsea's better players in the first half. That's not saying a lot, but he was one of their better players. He lets the ball go through his legs to get to Moses Caicedo, but they get in a mess. And here come Forest. Ball's laid through. Here's a chance for Forest. They've scored. Forest are in front here at Stamford Bridge. That was a really bad mistake between Gallagher and Moses Caicedo. And when it broke to Taiwo Awoniyi, he played in Anthony Elanga. And that's Elanga's first goal for Forest. Well, maybe that's woken this game up. 3 minutes into the second half, and Anthony Elanga has put Nottingham Forest in front. Caicedo and Conor Gallagher got in an awful mess. Elanga got between the two defenders and coolly finished beyond Sanchez. It was played through Thiago Silva's legs by Toa Awani. And Elanga was between the two defenders, between Colwell and Disassi. And he finished superbly with his right foot. Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Right in the corner. No real chance for Sanchez at all. And can Forest be about to have a very rare away day? Well, Chelsea have got to find something now, because they have been pretty awful so far. But Caicedo's lost the ball again. Here's Awani once more. 30 yards from goal, plays it to his right to Ryan Yates. Ryan Yates plays it back to Serge Aurier. Serge Aurier to Willy Bolly. To Elanga, to Yates. To Elanga once more, but that's too far ahead of him and it's gone out for a throw. Well, Pochettino's Chelsea really need to wake up here. They were dismal in the first half, and a real mix-up has now put them 1-0 behind. I was just saying Gallagher had been one of Chelsea's better players in the first half, but he made a mess of that, and now Chelsea are in arrears. Bolly plays it up to halfway to the goal scorer Elanga. His pass is astray. Gusto under pressure plays it back to Disassi, and Disassi goes back to Sanchez, who had almost nothing to do in the first half and yet finds himself having conceded a goal. Here's Caicedo. Here's Jackson in the centre circle. Turns away from one, beats another. He's got a man on his outside, played into the box, cleared by Forest. Well, that was a bit better from Caicedo. Good spin by Jackson too, to get away from Bolly, who followed him to the halfway line. And then he skipped beyond Gibbs-White as well. Played it to Gusto, but the cross-in was cleared to safety by Yates. What can Chelsea muster? We've seen very little so far. Thiago Silva in the centre circle. Wide to Colwell. Inside to Enzo Fernandez. Back to Thiago Silva to the left of the centre circle, almost on halfway. Forward to Caicedo, but back to Silva again. Forest will be looking to get their lines right here to stop Chelsea passing between the lines. They've snuffed out any attacking threat from the Blues pretty much so far. Here's Jackson, who's come deep, swings it to the left to Chilwell. He knocks it over the head of Aurier, but then runs into Willy Bolly, which isn't entirely advisable. A physical mismatch, that one. Forest get the ball over halfway. Conor Gallagher comes back to tidy up. Looks to be more effective than he was the last time he was in the penalty area, or in his own half. Thiago Silva for Chelsea. To Enzo Fernandez. Got to find a way through this Forest team somehow. That's a good ball to Chilwell. He attacks down the left, pulls it across. Worrell's well positioned to clear, and Bolly completes the clearance. Well, we might have set the pattern for the second half now. This might turn into attack against defence here. Here's Caicedo in the centre circle to Enzo Fernandez. Swings it out to the right hand side. There's a good ball to Gusto. Gusto swings it across the box, headed away by Worrell to the edge of the area. Here's Caicedo having a shot. It's deflected. It's gone behind for a corner kick. Worrell was the man that blocked it. Corner given. I think Chelsea, one or two Chelsea players might have been suggesting that he might have had a hand in the way of that. Let's have a look at the slow motion. Let's have a look. No, I don't think you can give a handball for that. It's going to be a corner to Chelsea on this near side, their left. Swung in by Chilwell. Half headed away and then headed over the top by Disasi. That comes to nothing for Chelsea. 53, nearly 54 minutes played at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 1. The way the first half panned out, you had the feeling that it might need a mistake to get the game going. And Chelsea contrived to make one between Moses Caicedo and Conor Gallagher. Here's the goal kick for Forest. Matt Turner out to this right hand side. Chelsea head gets it out for a throw. Steve Cooper gives it to Willy Bolly on halfway to throw it in. It wasn't a very good throw, and Serge Aurier just heads it straight back out of play. Well, a few new Chelsea signings watching on from the sidelines, thinking this wasn't quite in the script. Matt Turner over the halfway line. It's gone over the top of everybody, and it's out for a throw to Chelsea, who really have to look to create something here. They've looked short on ideas of the Blues. It's really not been very good at all. Here is Disasi. Disasi to Thiago Silva. Lofts it forward. Headed away by Bolly. Only as far as Conor Gallagher. Midway inside the half. Colwell back to Thiago Silva in the centre circle. Disasi. Now to Gusto. Gusto to Caicedo. Forest get a foot in though and get it back into the Chelsea half. Look like Forest are just going to hold their line now, and so to Chelsea, can you play through us? Not shown much sign of doing that so far. But we have 35 minutes plus stoppage time left for play, so you don't know. Here's Jackson, that's a nice turn. He plays it to Enzo Fernandez. Now to Sterling, who's been pretty quiet. Inside to Fernandez. Oh, that's good play to Jackson. Good sprawling challenge in front of him. Denies the Chelsea man as he was preparing to shoot. It's a good block. It's a lovely pass from Fernandez. Cross came Bolly and threw himself in the way. Blocked the shot off. Good challenge. Done well, the big man. Former Wolves player, of course. That's swung out by Fernandez towards Sterling. Sterling puts it into the box, but there's nobody there. He'd been better off carrying that. He just put it across the box. It's gone out for a goal kick. And I think he knows that that wasn't the right choice on that particular occasion. Elsewhere in the Premier League, Brentford 1, Bournemouth 1, Burnley 1, Tottenham 3, and Manchester City 2, Fulham 1. Tottenham have scored a third goal in the second half. James Maddison again on target. So it looks like one side of North London's heading for another 3 points. And looks like Burnley will come up blank again. Tough start for the Premier League new boys. Here's Willy Bolly throwing it up the line. Breaks for Elanga. But Forest have been penalised. It's a free kick to Chelsea. I think there was an offside. Here's Disasi running through the middle of the pitch for Chelsea. Runs to the right of the centre circle. Gets it out wide. Played forward to Sterling. Sterling can't go forward though. He's forced backwards. Comes back to Disasi. And now to Thiago Silva in the centre circle. Thiago Silva pushes it sideways to Disasi once more. Disasi forward. And now inside to Caicedo. Back to Gusto. Forward to Enzo Fernandez. That's a good little pass. Caicedo tries to poke it out to the right, but it's intercepted. Can Gibbs White get forward for Forest now? He's over halfway, hugging the left touchline. Now tries to come infield. Slowed the play down. Chelsea have got players back goal side, but Forest still have the ball. They have it wide on the left-hand side. That's a good challenge. Good challenge by Gusto. And the Forest man was offside anyway. So that's a free kick to Chelsea. Gusto didn't know that. He made a good challenge. Very good tackle. But Chelsea need to do something further forward if they're going to get back in this game, because they've not been clever so far. Not far from the hour mark. Pochettino might be thinking of doing something different. Here's De Sassi, forward to Conor Gallagher. He's got Gusto running up outside him. Gusto down by the byline, pulls the ball back. Ryan Yates is in a good position to clear it over the sideline for a throw to Chelsea. 20 yards from the corner flag, far side. Chelsea need to speed this up. Everything is all rather slow and ponderous at the moment. Gusto holding on to the ball for far too long. It's his own time he's wasting, because Chelsea are behind. Here's Thiago Silva in that centre circle. Advances forward. Pokes it out to the left to Colwell. Colwell's attempted pass is partly intercepted, and Forest have won the ball back yet again. They flicked it forward. Here's Elanga over halfway, giving it to Awani. Is he offside or not? We play on. Awani puts it in from the right hand side. It's intercepted by Sanchez. I'm surprised the flag didn't go up. It looked as if Awani was offside, but nothing was given. And Chelsea have given the ball away again, I think. No, they've won it back. They've won it back with Sterling. Sterling driving through the centre of the pitch, brought down. That's going to be a booking, I think. I think that's going to be a booking for Ryan Yates. And that may be a question of tot-up for Yates. That's probably 5 or 6 challenges he's made. He didn't get the ball. And that will be a booking. I think he knew that one was coming. Did Yates. Chelsea are getting ready to throw some substitutes on, and Chelsea are going to get their first sight of Cole Palmer as we tick past the hour mark. You'd think they're going to make some attacking substitutions. Maybe Conor Gallagher that's going to give way. We might see the free kick first, or we might not. No, Gallagher's coming off. Well, I guess he's a more defensive midfield player, so that's not that surprising. It looks like Maduaki's going to come on as well. Who's coming off? Cole Palmer comes on for his first Chelsea appearance, and Chilwell's going off as well. He gives the armband to Enzo Fernandez. I'm not sure Chilwell's entirely fit, because he seems to keep playing an hour and then coming off. I'm pretty sure this is Maduaki, who comes on the field. So Maduaki and Palmer are on for Chelsea. Plenty of attacking threat. Can they do anything with it? That's Palmer's first touch in a Chelsea shirt. Enzo Fernandez, now the captain. De Sassi to Gusto. Gusto again. Back to De Sassi, right at the centre circle. Thiago Silva, centre of the pitch. Plays it forward to Jackson. Back to Moses Caicedo, then to De Sassi. Now to Gusto again. Chelsea not really going anywhere here. Here's De Silva. Here's De Sassi. De Sassi once more. Gusto looks to turn past his man, but Gibbs White's got back goal side. Here's Maduaki's first touch. Moses Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez. Cole Palmer. A little bit of room. I thought for a minute he was going to have a crack then, but he didn't. Maduaki gets the ball back. Caicedo needs to atone for that mix-up with Gallagher that led to the Forest goal. Fernandez to De Sassi. Now out wide to Maduaki, who will look to... Well, I thought he was going to run at Aina, but he didn't. Palmer. Ball inside. Here's Palmer again. Palmer goes past one, goes past two. Plays it out to the right-hand side. Here's Maduaki. right corner of the box, came inside. Caicedo, Madueke again, plays it further wide to Gusto, who puts it across the box. It's beaten everybody. Will be retrieved by Sterling, who's now gone out to the left. Raheem Sterling back to the edge of the box to Colwill. Now to Enzo Fernandez. His ball in is headed away by Bolly. Disassi goes past his man, has a shot, blocked. Up in the air, headed away again by Forrest, this time by Aurier. I thought Sterling was going to get round the back of Aurier when that ball came back in the box, but it didn't happen. But Forrest have hacked it over the sideline for a throw. And all of a sudden, this is pressure from Chelsea. And if you're a home supporter, you'd have to say it's about time, because they haven't looked like doing a lot so far. Taiwo Awoni's not going to score for the 8th game running because he's coming off for Nottingham Forest. To warm applause from the Forest fans. They're going to make a change. And it's Chris Wood who's come on in his stead. He's going to be the man who's going to be trying to hold the ball up and chase the lost causes, you would feel, late in this game. Son Heung-min has scored a second goal for Spurs at Burnley. It's now Burnley 1, Chelsea, Spurs 4. Well, extraordinary stuff. And Manchester City have scored a third goal against Fulham. And if I told you he didn't score either of the first two, you'll be not surprised to hear that Erling Haaland has scored the third. Chelsea could do with some firepower themselves. Here they are with Enzo Fernandez to Disassi. Out right onto the touchline where Madueke's getting some chalk on his boots. Lays it forward looking for Caicedo, but Worrell polices the ball out over the byline. And another Chelsea attack comes to nothing. Well, this really isn't great from Chelsea at all. Really isn't. This is not what Maurizio Pochettino had in mind for this particular Saturday afternoon. Forest have stood really firm with Bolly and Worrell in the centre of defence. Matt Turner clears this one for Forest. Headed on by Aurier. Disassi calling to Sanchez to come and get it, which he eventually does. Oh, his clearance hits Gibbs White on the back, but he can't react to it quick enough to get onto the loose ball. And Chelsea are able to clear, but that was sloppy again from Chelsea. It's Thiago Silva, the veteran, looking to inspire his team. Gives it to Disassi to his right. Up over the halfway line to Madueke. Back to Gusto. Back to Disassi back in his own half. Chelsea really haven't forced a decent save out of Matt Turner this afternoon at all, really. Here's Disassi to Gusto. Madueke. Cole Palmer trying to find some movement in front of him. It's played down there now to Palmer, who looks to screen the ball, but it's hooked away from him by Scott McKenna. Throw into Chelsea. That one's gone astray, I think. Or can Madueke get onto it in the penalty area? Tried to let it go out for a corner, which it didn't. And Forest will now have a chance to clear. Fernandez tries to pinch it. It's whacked away by Yates. And over the sideline for a throw to Chelsea. Tottenham Hotspur are going mad at Turf Moor. It's now 5-1, and Son Heung-min has scored a hat-trick. Well, that does not bode well for Vincent Kompany and company. Thiago Silva out to Raheem Sterling, who seems to be coming deeper and deeper looking for a ball at the moment. Laid forward. This is useful. Here's Fernandez through to Jackson. Is this a chance? Jackson goes down. Well, Jackson's already been booked. So if the referee decides that's a dive, there's going to be trouble here. All eyes are on the officials here. I think he's offside anyway. I think I think he's offside, so if VAR looks at this, he's offside anyway. And I think that's a dive. Well, goodness me. Goodness me. I think he's lucky he's offside, Jackson, because he was booked in the first half for waving an imaginary yellow card in the direction of the referee. So the referee gave him one after he was fouled. And that would have been a dive had it not been offside. I think that would have been a second yellow and a red. Well, my word, on the evidence of this, Nicholas Jackson's got some growing up to do. In the meantime, Chelsea are still one down. Here's Enzo Fernandez, inside to Moses Caicedo. Through the middle of the pitch, that's good. Palmer attacks through the centre. 30 yards from goal now. Goes past another man into the penalty area, lays it wide to Maduaki. Maduaki looks to attack the byline but doesn't win the ball. Aina wins the ball off him. And Forest get a chance to clear. They don't do it very well though. And Chelsea have nicked the ball back midway inside the Forest half. But they need to do something more with it than they're doing. We're coming up to 70 minutes here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Forest 1. This is not going well from a Blues point of view. Here's Colwill. Inside Elanga. Lays the ball forward looking for Sterling, but Worrell's read that well. Doesn't get it off the pitch though. Here's Jackson to the left of the 18-yard box. He drifts one across the area. It's not a good one. It's an easy catch for Matt Turner. And another Chelsea, well, I almost hesitate to call it an attack, really. The referee wants a word with one or two people before we restart here. I think Colwill and somebody were having a little tete-a-tete that wasn't very pleasant. Scott McKenna. It's the 226s on the pitch that we're having a bit of a set to. Serge Aurier in the meantime has gone down injured, so he'll need some attention. This is all going very well from a Forest point of view because these stoppages will fragment the half. They'll stop Chelsea getting any momentum, not that Chelsea have had much anyway. The Blues have really been poor today. Serge Aurier is limping. I don't know whether his afternoon is going to be able to continue. He seems to be struggling a little. There may have to be a change here. He shakes his head. Doesn't look happy. And indeed, there's going to be more than one change for Forest. They're going to make two. Aurier is going to be one of those to come off, clearly. And Mangala's coming off as well. Montiel's coming on. And Nuno is coming on as well. And a third change. Looks like Kouyaté is coming on, so that's all of Forest substitutions made. Yeah, looks like Aina is the one giving way, is indeed. So Kouyaté is on. Kouyaté, Aina and Mangala off. Tavares and Kouyaté on. And Montiel on for Aurier by the looks of things. Hooked away by Chelsea up to the halfway line. Out jumped again. Chelsea latch onto the loose ball. Colwill tries to run forward. An offside's been given, so Chelsea will get a free kick. And they're running out of time. 17 minutes to go here, plus stoppage time. At Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 1 on flashscore.co.uk and the Flashscore app. Cole Palmer, who hasn't been able to make much impression since he came on. He's in the centre circle. He swings the ball to the left, but it's intercepted, so it doesn't find its target. Chelsea have been miles off today, absolutely miles off. But that's not to say that Forest have closed the spaces down really well and denied them almost any chances. Really disciplined performance by Forest thus far. Can they keep it up? Can they get through to the end? Erling Haaland has scored a fourth for Fulham from the spot. For Manchester City from the spot against Fulham. 2 for him now, 4-1 at the Etihad. Here's Thiago Silva for Chelsea. To Disasi. Chelsea trying to make ground down that right-hand side. Maduaki inside, floated ball forward, but Fernandes can't bring that under his spell, and it's out for a goal kick. And you'd have to say that Chelsea don't really look like scoring a goal. They've had lots of the ball, but don't really look like scoring a goal or even creating a decent chance. Pochettino looks a little bemused on the touchline, I would say, at this stage. Cleared by Turner. It's gone all the way out for a throw to Chelsea. 5 yards short of the halfway line. Here's Colwill throwing it in to Thiago Silva, who approaches the centre circle in his own half. Walks the ball into it, plays it to Fernandes, to the left of that centre circle, and he goes to the right of it to Disasi. Forward to Maduaki, who needs some help, really. Forest are not giving me any space in behind. Here's Enzo Fernandez, pokes it forward to Sterling, to Fernandes, back out to Maduaki. He's got a little bit more room this time. What can he do with it? Can just prod the ball back to Gusto. He flicks the ball across the box. It's hit a Forest player and gone out for a corner, so at least Chelsea have got a set piece that they might be able to do something with here. Finally an opportunity to get something into the box, you would think. Enzo Fernandez is going to take it. All the big men up from the back. Comes in, over the top of everybody, out to the far side of the box, left corner of the area. Chelsea prod it back in. Here's Palmer looking to turn it across the area, but Bolly is in the way. He half clears, headed further on by Gibbs-White, and Chelsea have to go all the way back to Sanchez, who's just short of the centre circle. He swings it left to Jackson. Jackson, 30 yards from goal on the left-hand side. He swings it right towards Maduaki, but he can't get onto it. And Elanga just lets it run out of play for a throw to Forest. 14 minutes left plus stoppage time. Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 1. More changes for Chelsea, who are going to throw more and more attackers onto the pitch, I think. Moses Caicedo now comes off. His day is done. Maatsen come on to try and get Chelsea back in this game. They look like they're going to make another change, Chelsea. I think Gusto might be coming off and Mudryk coming on. So goodness knows what shape Chelsea are going to play now. They've got loads of attacking players on the pitch, but don't look like scoring a goal. In the meantime, Bournemouth have taken the lead at Brentford through David Brooks. Nobody will grudge him a goal. That may well be his first goal in senior football since he came back from cancer treatment. Good luck to him. Chelsea have thrown the ball in and they've won another throw. Enzo Fernandez back to the halfway line. So many attacking players on the pitch, but can't create a chance. Here's Jackson. Can he create one? No, Bolly's poked the ball away from him. Madueke looks to go inside and outside. Tries to put the ball across the box. It's blocked. Goes all the way back to the halfway line where Disasi retrieves it. Well. Here's Enzo Fernandez again. Back to Colwill. Colwill lays it up the left-hand side. Maatsen will keep that in. Plays it across the box. Down goes a Chelsea player. Down goes Jackson again. Referee gives nothing. And quite rightly so in my view. Jackson seems to be spending most of his time throwing himself on the ground. I'm not quite sure what he hopes to gain from that. He must be trying the referee's patience because he's already on a booking. And he's at least dived once and gone down easily on another occasion. Turner clears the ball. Headed on by Forrest. Cleared by Chelsea to Matson. But Matson's forced to face his own goal once more. Go all the way back to Thiago Silva. The clock ticks on. 11 minutes plus stoppage time for Chelsea to salvage something from this game at Stamford Bridge. Or can Forest hold on and record a famous win? Which will be their first win over Chelsea for 26 years. Here's Colwill into the centre circle to Enzo Fernandez. He sweeps a long ball forward looking for Madueke, but again Forest have half cleared the ball. Sterling back to Madueke. Will he go to the byline? No, he won't. Or not yet, he won't. He's going backwards, in fact. Comes back to the right corner of the box. He gets it back once more. Will he put a ball in the box? He will. It's Mudryk couldn't bring it under his spell. And now Chelsea have been penalised and Colwill's thrown the ball away and banged into the referee on the way past him. I don't think that's particularly bright either, but the referee's ignored it. Gibbs White's gone down, holding his ankle. He was the player fouled by Colwill, who maybe stood on the back of his foot as he was trying to get to the ball. Chelsea look lost here, they really do. Most people accept that this is a project for Pochettino. Lots of players in, lots of players out. And they look like a team that doesn't really know each other at the moment. They look like strangers today. Here's Forrest coming down the left-hand side. Can they create a chance for two? They've put it across the box. It's easy for Sanchez. It's a poor ball across from Elanga. Jackson tried to turn his man from the restart. Here's Matson bursting forward. Worrell comes out to meet him again and tackles superbly. Well, he got sent off at Old Trafford last week. He might be close to being man of the match this week, I think, Joe Worrell. Here's Gibbs White. Oh, that's a great ball. Oh, it's just too long, actually. And Sanchez was able to intercept it before Elanga could get onto it. But Forest have it again. Out wide with Nuno. Nuno puts it into the box. Again, it's easy for Sanchez, who rolls it out. Chelsea running out of time here at Stamford Bridge, trailing 1-0 and not really looking like scoring a goal. Here's Madueke, who's not got much change out of anybody since he came on. Can Chelsea create something? They don't really look like doing so at the moment. Cole Palmer out on the right hand side, comes in field, gives it to Enzo Fernandez. Goes back to Cole Palmer, who's wrestling with Ryan Yates, and Palmer fouls him and Yates wins the free kick. More frustration for Chelsea. Yates has been combative today. He earned himself a booking for a tot-up of fouls, but he's been really physical and messed Chelsea up in the middle of the park. Done an excellent job. Worrell and Bolly have been magnificent. Forest have done this really well for 82 minutes. Can they see it out? That long ball forward. Sanchez comes to collect it. Where are Chelsea going to find an opening? You struggle to remember even a chance for Chelsea. Will Palmer create one now? Lays it forward to Sterling. He's got round his man. Oh, tried to pull it back from the byline. It's stabbed over the top by Jackson. He's missed the sitter. Well, that was the chance Chelsea have waited all afternoon for. And Nicholas Jackson has missed it. It was a good burst of speed by Sterling. Worrell took a little bit of the pace off his pullback, but arrived at Jackson's feet. And he stabbed it over the top with his right foot. What a miss that is. He was stretching for it, but he should have buried it. It's an awful miss. Well, he's a young player, and this is an afternoon he'll want to forget if Chelsea go on to lose this game 1-0. That is for sure. Matt Turner seems to have been hurt in that incident, so we have another slight stoppage. The Forest fans enjoying it, clapping joyously. Well, well, well. This is quite amazing stuff, it really is. Worrell stretching his limbs. He has been truly magnificent today, as Joe Worrell. I think unless something strange happens in the last 6 minutes plus stoppage time, he'd be my man of the match. Matt Turner is back up again, ready to start us with a goal kick. Kicks right-footed, up over the halfway line. Chelsea win the header, but I think they've only headed it out of play. Well, that was the chance they've been waiting for all afternoon, and Nicholas Jackson spurned it. In a game of few chances, you can't do that. Here is Colwill. Plays it forward a few yards to Enzo Fernandez. Touched off by Sterling, but given away. Here come Forest again with Anthony Elanga out on the left-hand side, almost level with the penalty area. Tries to go past Thiago Silva, but Thiago Silva's too old and wise for that. Gets his body in the way and wins it back. Madueke now tries to go outside his man. Goes outside one, but can't go outside two. But he does at least win a throw deep in Forest territory. Good sliding challenge. Oh, I thought it was a good sliding challenge. The referee's decided it's a foul. He's penalised Nuno for pulling him back by the shirt. So he's the one that's got the yellow card. I knew it was a good sliding challenge from McKenna, but he wouldn't have been able to make the challenge had Nuno not pulled Madueke back by the shirt. So Chelsea have a free kick. 5 yards in from the far touchline. Probably 25 yards out on the angle. Drifted in. Finds Thiago Silva, shoots! And it's palmed behind by Matt Turner. Well, Thiago Silva got him behind everybody. And Sterling puts it back to Matt, but he wouldn't have been able to make the challenge had Nuno not pulled Madueke back by the shirt. So Chelsea have a free kick. 5 yards in from the deep. He has a shot blocked by Ryan. A shot blocked by Ryan Yates, who collapses to the ground, but he wouldn't have been able to make the challenge had Nuno not pulled Madueke back by the shirt. So Chelsea have a free kick. Now to Mudryk, who's playing deep. He has a shot blocked by Ryan but Chelsea need bucket loads of it. They've missed a sitter. And Turner hitting him in the solar plexus, but it brings another stoppage. I don't know how much stoppage time we're going to end up with at the end of this game, but Chelsea need bucket loads, but he wouldn't have been able to make the challenge had Nuno not pulled Madueke back by the shirt. So Chelsea have a free kick. Now to Mudryk, who's playing deep. He has a shot blocked by Ryan as he walks off the field. I think he'll have to come back on because inside now, shoots from distance, it's weak, and it's through to Robertson, but he wouldn't have been able to make the challenge had Nuno not pulled Madueke back by the shirt. So Chelsea have a free kick. Now to Mudryk, who's playing deep. He has a shot blocked by Ryan Enzo Fernandez to Maduaki, inside to Cole Palmer. Palmer dinks it towards the far side, but Mudryk can't get onto it, but he wouldn't have been able to make the challenge had Nuno not pulled Maduaki back by the shirt. So Chelsea have a free kick. Now to Mudryk, who's playing deep. He has a shot blocked by Ryan. Don't think you begrudge Forest this win. They took their chance clinically for the men of Kings Road. They've not looked at it at all, it has to be said. Don't think you begrudge Forest this win, but he wouldn't have been able to make the challenge had Nuno not pulled Maduaki back by the shirt. So Chelsea have a free kick. Now to Mudryk, who's playing deep. He has a shot blocked by Ryan. Colwill short of the centre circle, runs it over the halfway line, looks for movement ahead of him. There isn't a lot. Here's Mudryk, comes in field still, but he wouldn't have been able to make the challenge had Nuno not pulled Maduaki back by the shirt. So Chelsea have a free kick. Now to Mudryk, who's playing deep. Play it to Enzo Fernandez. The ball was too short, it was cleared. 8 minutes of stoppage time here at Stamford Bridge. Still hope for Chelsea, but they need to do something urgently. Here's Thiago Silva in the centre circle. He's got Colwill to his left, just ahead of him. He had Cole Palmer. He used Palmer, but it's arrived back at the feet of Thiago Silva. Now Enzo Fernandez out to the far side. Here's Mudryk. Chelsea have lost it. It broke down again for Chelsea. Maduaki did well, pulled it back. Oh, thought it was going to reach Sterling, but it didn't. It was cleared again. I think it was that man Worrell yet again. He has been absolutely magnificent this afternoon, really has. Chelsea come again. They have no choice but to keep charging forward. Bolly heads that one away. Jackson back into the path of Matson. He's looked lively since he came on, but Chelsea need a goal. It's lifted forward, headed away again by Scott McKenna. Chelsea pick up the loose ball once more. Maduaki down the line to Sterling, who plays it off the shins of Yates and behind for a corner. Chelsea running out of time. We've played a minute and a half of the 8 of stoppage time. Chelsea 0, Forest 1. Here on flashscore.co.uk and the Flashscore app. Are we in for a big shock? Chelsea swing the corner in, headed away to the edge of the box, helped further clear. Sanchez is now in the Forest half, gives it to Matson, who's playing last man. Gives it to Cole Palmer. Palmer to the right of the penalty area, 30 yards from goal, gives it to Mudryk. He tries to put the ball across, cannons off a Forest foot. I think that's a throw right down by the corner flag rather than the corner. It is indeed. It's about a yard from the corner flag. Forest fans clapping furiously, trying to inspire their men over the line here. Here's Thiago Silva to Mudryk, swings it across, cleared again. Enzo Fernandez nearly slipped, trying to play the ball back in. He's got it back, Fernandez, 25 yards from goal, swings it across the goal. Was looking for Sterling, it didn't reach him. Matson heads it back to Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva plays it down the line. Ball will come across from Maduaki, but they just can't get the ball into a dangerous position. Here's Maduaki again. He couldn't trick his way into the area. Forest with a chance to clear, but they don't take it. Cole Palmer. It's gone all the way back to Thiago Silva again. His ball in is headed away by McKenna. All 3 of those Forest centre-backs should be bought a few beers tonight. They've earned them. Thiago Silva once more. Cole Palmer. Matson, centre field, 35 yards from goal. Can they prize an opening? Doesn't look like it. Here's Fernandez. That's to Jackson. Worrell again gets a foot in. Jackson retrieves it, right of the area, plays it off a Forest player behind for another corner for Chelsea. Can one of their big men get on one of these corners? We're ticking up to the 4th minute of added on time gone. That means 4 left. Chelsea still trail. It's not been a great day for Chelsea. In comes the corner. Up go the heads. It's a Forest head that reaches the ball first. It's come out to the left of the area to Enzo Fernandez. He plays it back in. It's headed out again by Forest. Cole Palmer trying to link up with Maatsen. Palmer on the left corner of the box. Lofts it in. Bolly heads away. Oh, and that didn't work at all. And now Forest might sprint clear. Here's Alanga sprinting over the halfway line. Faced by Mudryk. Gets to the left edge of the box. Runs past his man. Runs it to the byline. Heads for the corner flag. Then turns around, beats 2 men. Can he put it across the box? He shoots. Runs it to the... It bounces back into Chelsea possession. He looked like he was heading for the corner flag and then tricked his way past 2 Chelsea players. Very nearly clinched it for Forest. Here's Thiago Silva. Deep in his own half. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Pointing where he wanted somebody, but then he goes backwards to Cole Palmer, who's on halfway. He runs through the centre circle. Chelsea's day at this rate. Here's Colwill pointing where he wanted somebody, but then he goes backwards to flag and then tricked his way past 2 Chelsea players. Very nearly clinched it for Forest. Here's Thiago Silva. Deep in his own half. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Thing that Chelsea have put in there, really. Chelsea come again. Forest. They've just cleared everything that Chelsea have put in there, really. Here's Thiago Silva. Deep in his own half. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Last chance. He got a glimpse of goal there. Did Raheem Sterling. Forest. They've just cleared everything that Chelsea have put in there, really. Here's Thiago Silva. Deep in his own half. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Second goal from Brownhill, but they trail 5-2 at home to Spurs. Manchester City. To Spurs. Manchester City still lead Fulham by 4-1. There's just 2 minutes left here. Less than 2 minutes. For Chelsea to find a leveller. Can they do it? Here's Maatsen. Short of halfway. Almost tight to the left touchline. Comes inside. Enzo Fernandez sprays it out to Madueke. Again, he doesn't really get any change out of his man. He wins a throw. But that's all for Chelsea. A throw level with the 18-yard area. He throws it back in the direction of Thiago Silva. Maatsen now, centre field, dinks it forward, looking for Sterling. He can't get onto the end of it. It's out for a goal kick. And is that Chelsea's last chance? You really do wonder. It was just too long. He couldn't bring it under his spell. He tried to volley it from a tight angle, missed the ball. It was a difficult one coming over the defender's shoulder. Wasn't to be. Matt Turner to take the goal kick with the Forest fans behind him singing in great voice. 30 seconds left. Turner's now been booked for time wasting. He kicks the ball forward. These bookings for time wasting are really going to add up for teams as this season goes on. They really are. But that may have run a little bit more time off the clock. 10 seconds for Chelsea. They need to get it forward now. They tried to get it to Madueke, but it's tidied up by Forest. Kicked away by Turner. Out for a throw. Is there another chance for Chelsea? Time is running out. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Inside to Disasi. Disasi to Maatsen. Maatsen chips it forward. Headed away again by Nottingham Forest. Cole Palmer. Right edge of the box. Sterling tried to turn, couldn't do it. Whacked away by Forest, and that may be it. And it is it. The whistle's gone. Nottingham Forest have beaten Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Well, 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 well. Their Manchester United recruit over the summer, Anthony Elanga, has scored the winning goal after Moses Caicedo and Conor Gallagher got in a mess, gave the ball to Taiwo Awoniyi. He nutmegged Thiago Silva, and Elanga ran between two defenders to slot home. Chelsea created almost nothing in response until very late in the day. A chance fell for Nicholas Jackson just a few yards from goal. He volleyed it over the top, and that was all the Blues could muster. Nottingham Forest have deserved this. They've won. They've beaten Chelsea for the first time for 26 years since 1997. Joe Worrell, Scott McKenna and Willy Boly were magnificent at the centre of that Forest defence. Marshalled the rearguard magnificently. Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 1. You can tweet me about this at Ellis_Red on Twitter. Make no mistake, the right side won here. Chelsea 0, Forest 1. Thanks for enjoying it with us. See you.